You should be subscribing.
How dare you!
Refuse to subscribe. You
The assumption that women are naturally better caregivers is part of patriarchy.
And we don't.
I think they definitely do need me. I'm on my way.
Hi, my name's Kath Reid. I'm a fat activist in Brisbane. I blog at Fat Heffalump, where I've been blogging for about 5 years.
Anyone who trolls this blog with hateful messages and bullying of fat people will have those comments along with their IP addresses, email addresses and any other details sent to their mothers, employers, school administration and other people I can track down in their lives. Why I don't blog anymore? You may have noticed that I haven't blogged here for a very long time. It's not because I have stopped believing in the importance of fat activism, or because I've given up being a fat activist myself. Quite the opposite. I believe that it is more important now than it has ever been. I have stopped blogging because some of you make me hate you. I'm tired of giving my life to people who won't even stand up to their own families, friends and colleagues in the face of hatred and bigotry, who then whinge that I'm doing it wrong. It's someone else's turn. I'm done. I've got a life to live. No offence, but looking at your size, I'm guessing you don't have many years left.
And it's my goal to change the way people think about fatness. I haven't always been fat. I was actually a regular sized little girl, and when I was 17 I was actually diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Since then, taking insulin and treating my diabetes regularly, I slowly became fatter and fatter.
Now yes, it is true that insulin therapy, a common treatment for diabetes, can cause people to gain weight. People taking insulin can manage their weight with certain diet and lifestyle strategies. When a person takes insulin as a therapy for diabetes, their body may absorb too much glucose from food, resulting in weight gain. Untreated diabetes can cause weight loss because the body is not converting food into energy correctly. Taking insulin solves this problem. This is why people may notice weight gain when they start to take insulin. However, reducing excess body weight can help people manage diabetes symptoms and even reverse pre-diabetes and insulin resistance.
When I began to gain weight, I was a little worried. My mother was a little worried. But as time went on, I became okay with being fat. Fat acceptance is the radical notion that fat people are human beings and deserve respect.
How can you be a fat activist? I mean, look at the buttons on his shirt. They're almost going to pop off. And they're both wearing bright colours. Bright colours make you seem a lot wider if you are a big person. They should be wearing darker tones. Slimming tones. I mean, they bang on about being fat activists and the body positive movement, but judging by their appearance, there's not a lot of movement going on in their house. Albeit to the fridge and back.
I discovered fat acceptance probably about 6 years ago. I think it was on Twitter that somebody must have retweeted an article.
Finding reliable information on Twitter. What an age we live in.
As per anything on the internet, you read one and the vortex gets you and you read the next thing and the next thing. It was kind of like a light bulb went on.
Like the fridge light bulb? The one that turns on when you open the fridge door?
There seems to be a cultural obsession here, whether you're in Australia or the United States, with a thin body. Health at Every Size is a movement that is basically just encouraging people to adopt good health behaviors and to forget about weight as a goal or weight change as a goal, and instead just embrace the bodies that we're living in and make good health choices to support them.
Now, for those of you who aren't aware, Health at Every Size principles help us advance social justice, create an inclusive and respectful community, and support people of all sizes in finding compassionate ways to take care of themselves. Respect celebrates body diversity, honours differences in size, age, race, ethnicity, gender, dis/ability, sexual orientation, religion, class, and other human attributes. Critical awareness challenges scientific and cultural assumptions, values body knowledge and lived experiences. If you go on their website, it says, let's face facts. We've lost the war on obesity. Fighting fat hasn't made the fat go away, and being thinner, even if we knew how to successfully accomplish it, will not necessarily make us healthier or happier. The war on obesity has taken its toll. Extensive collateral damage has resulted. Food and body preoccupation, self-hatred, eating disorders, discrimination, poor health, etc. Few of us are at peace with our bodies, whether because we're fat or because we fear becoming fat. Well, that's fascinating, but if we look at the root of the Health at Every Size movement, it was started by Dr. Linda Bacon, who now goes by the name Lindo. And from her About Us section, we read, Lindo. Yes, I am Lindo. There's continuity there, a specificity I recognise. I can still be the beautiful human my parents dreamed of. I can still be my history, me, not just the feminised version, because I was never a girl. I was never Linda, not really. But Lindo? Lindo I recognise. This new name, that's not new at all, just slightly, rightly different, feels like home to me. And interestingly, we can actually look at her CV online, which is published, and also if we look at her LinkedIn profile, we can see that she has an MA in kinesiology and an MA in contemplative psychotherapy. So she's a doctor, but And what's fascinating is that if we look at her previous employment, it says that she taught courses in nutrition, weight, health, and social justice. Oh, and she also has a liberal arts degree. If we look at her financial disclosure on her website, it says that she additionally receives investment income, primarily the result of social justice investing. But who is Linda? Well, Dr. Lindo Bacon is fostering a global transformation to a more just world where all bodies are valued, respected, and supported in compassionate self-care. Best known for their paradigm-shifting research and advocacy upending the weight discourse, Bacon's inspiring message takes us beyond size to shaping a culture of empathy, equity, and true belonging. Aww. Dr. Bacon has mined their, they-them pronouns, deep academic proficiency, wide-ranging clinical expertise, and own personal experience to write 2 best-selling books, Health at Every Size, The Surprising Truth About Your Weight, and the co-authored Body Respect, What Conventional Health Books Get Wrong, Leave Out, or Just Plain Fail to Understand About Weight. Fascinating.
There are many reasons for why someone might be living in a fat body. For some people, that's just genetics, and they're leading very healthy lifestyles, eating good quantities that are appropriate to nourish their bodies.
One of the main things that I find is that I'm under constant surveillance. You can't go anywhere without being watched by people. That happened before I dyed my hair pink.
Take the hint.
We hear in the news all the time about an obesity epidemic and how people are dying of obesity. And what we see is that it's just not true. What is true is that people are heavier than they used to be. But what's also true is that we're living longer than ever before.
People ask me all the time if you can be fat and healthy. I'm not offended by that question. I feel like it reflects on me a little bit because I feel like I am a fat and healthy person.
My name is Adriana and I'm 23.
I'm Ricardo and I'm 23 and we're from Newfoundland, Canada.
Well, hello, Ricardo. But in all seriousness, 23? You are 23 years old and you weigh 6,000 pounds. At some point, she is going to have to ask herself the question, what's more important, that bucket of fried chicken or your child?
The snack aisle.
Kind of feeling some chocolatey chocolate.
Yes, so good.
Can I grab it?
We met through social media almost 2 years ago. He just started commenting on my pictures.
Maybe I had an agenda, maybe I didn't.
Gross. For months, me and Ricardo were talking long distance, and when we finally met each other in person, I was still really self-conscious. Like, I was going in the bathroom and like closing the door to change my clothes and stuff. And he just basically told me, like, you know, you don't have to worry about that. Like, I think you're the most beautiful person I've ever seen in my life. I started opening up with him, and I just like realized that he was really a good person. Truly.
With your wings.
So cute.
Now, it is adorable that she found love and that he accepts her for her and, you know, doesn't have a problem with her size, but this is the kind of message that is promoted by the body positive and fat acceptance movement, promoting an unhealthy body size. The Guardian writes, it wasn't until she discovered body positivity in 2014 that Yeboah found an alternative to self-loathing and depression. Body positivity first emerged in the US in the 60s to raise awareness of the barriers faced by fat people. And as a result, the word fat was reclaimed as a descriptor rather than insult. Advocates eschewed diets and weight loss surgery and highlighted the need for human rights for bigger bodies. In the social media era, it was reignited by women of colour. Bloggers such as Gabby Gregg posted images of fat women in bikinis that were soon picked up by feminist sites. And the movement spread to the UK. For Yeboah, it changed her life. She became an influential writer and plus-size blogger. This year, for the first time, she wore a bikini on holiday. When she posted photos of herself by the pool, she received vicious abuse, but the freedom was revelatory, and the memory of it continues to make her smile.
We were laying in bed, and she was very obviously uncomfortable, and I just felt like in that moment I had to just let you know, like, you know, it's okay, I love you, and it just came out of my mouth.
And then I was crying, and I was just like, I love you too.
Yeah.
After Ricardo moved out here, I found out I was pregnant, which was a huge shock, to say the least. My pregnancy was horrible. The whole time I was just super moody, uncomfortable. Awful.
No sex drive.
Yeah. It was crazy. We just went from just meeting each other to me finding out I was pregnant, and then there's a newborn.
I have always loved bigger women because I find them to be more feminine looking and softer, and it's no different to me than saying I like redheads or brunettes or whatever. And you know, anybody else, if anybody feels like they should be ashamed of it, you shouldn't. It's everybody likes different things.
The Medium writes, "Fat acceptance is a movement I will always support above body positivity. And this is because it won't be coerced or created or moulded into something that can be sold back to us. Fat people exist. We can be at peace without dieting, living our lives as we want, without any need to push a marketed image of ourselves on social media. There is still so much stigma around weight, and these are the things I would prefer to be concerned about over naff marketing campaigns. Fat people have a right to everything an average person does, without judgment or hate. And that is why fat acceptance is more important than body positivity, because we're still not there. We still have a long way to go in terms of stigma, and we still face hatred in medical, work and friendship environments. We have to do more all round, and I believe fat acceptance is the movement to tackle these issues."
Love ya.
Love you too.
Patriarchy.